have our well, what will be our sort of last ambassador video. So these are ADHD UK ambassadors. They're people who look to support the charity, and uh, we look to help to amplify their voice. They're amazing people. I'm going to hand you over to Mira.
Hello everyone, my name is Maria and I'm a 23-year-old event consultant here in London, and I'm a proud ADHD UK ambassador. I was diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 18, just before starting university, and my life absolutely changed. I decided to become an ambassador to amplify voices and to show people that everything you put in your mind is possible. I did not think I could get 2 degrees, but I pushed through it and I did. I love being an ADHD UK ambassador. I found such a sense of community. I've spoken with so many like-minded people, and this is all about. It's all about unity and coming together to make a difference.
Hi, I'm Laura. I've worked with neurodivergent young people for most of my working life in specialist schools and later as a therapist. I was diagnosed with ADHD myself in April 2024, and this changed everything for me. I was really struggling with my mental health significantly throughout the whole of my life. My diagnosis has helped me to make sense of my challenges and build self-compassion. I became an ADHD ambassador to raise awareness and understanding around ADHD after being misunderstood for most of my life. The effect of being undiagnosed and not understanding my differences has a profound impact on mental health, and I hope that by increasing awareness I can prevent others from going through the same. I really enjoy being an ambassador. It means I get the honour of making a difference. It gives me a platform to increase awareness and promote change, which means a lot to me. And I hope to continue and contribute to meaningful changes as an ADHD ambassador in the future.
Hi, I'm Himal Mandalia, and I was diagnosed with ADHD at the end of 2024. It made a lot of sense of my life. ADHD wasn't what I thought it was. It explained a lot of the ways I'd struggled. I'd had an unusual life, growing up to non-working parents, running away at the age of 7, no qualifications, and then turning my life around and becoming, in quote marks, successful, but not really happy, heavily masking, unable to let go. And so I was working at senior levels of government as a contractor and then head of technology for Gov.uk. Huge burnout following the pandemic, travelling the world for 18 months, and burning out on my career break. It's very ADHD. Getting diagnosed and finding answers, and also getting diagnosed with autism, and those were the remaining answers. Becoming an ambassador for ADHD UK, where I found a tremendous sense of community, being supported and able to support others, and I think that's a huge thing for us in our own journeys and for those that we're able to help by representing and raising awareness about ADHD. And so I'm very proud to be an ADHD UK ambassador.
And we're extremely proud to have him as an ambassador, have everyone as ambassadors. It's a really big deal, and it is a big deal, and we're very grateful for it all. Next up is Lisa Kerr. So The Beautiful Contradiction, talking about embracing your autistic ADHD brain. And then our last session, she's our penultimate session, is the NHS and ADHD with the Dr. Tim Kerr, which I'm enormously looking forward to. It's exciting. ADHD and autism is a very important. It's a very big deal. So many people are ADHD and autistic, and Lisa is an ADHD and autism coach. She's a keynote speaker, founder of Think Exceptionally, 20 years senior leadership experience in finance and HR. She's going to be talking about the challenge of ADHD and autism, and it's my time to welcome Lisa to the stage. Welcome.
Hi, Henry. Thank you for having me, and well done on the conference so far.
No, well, thank you. Like only this and one more segment to go, and success for another year, I hope. So, but I honestly, I've enjoyed it so much. I get to listen to you and to others. I learn an enormous amount, and it's genuinely a privilege, and I'm very excited for your segment. Look, huge percentage of people with autism have ADHD, despite it not being something that could even be diagnosed. You weren't allowed to have autism and ADHD. You were allowed to have autism or ADHD, but not both until not that long ago. And it is a big difference. It is a big group of people, and what I've found oftentimes is where you see that suggestions and ways of understanding are either entirely for autistic people or entirely for ADHD people, and ADHD autistic people, and helping get understanding of the tools and information just isn't there. So I'm so thrilled you're doing this section. So thank you. I'm going to hand over to you. Time for me to stop talking and to hand over to you. Thank you. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Henry. So while Henry's just sharing the slides there, he's given me a lovely introduction, but I will just say a little bit more about myself. There we go, got the slides. So I am Lisa Kerr. I am an ADHD coach, and I'm ADHD and autistic myself as well. So today I am going to talk to you about what it's like to be autistic and ADHD. So what's coming up today? I am going to share with you 2 stories. My lived experience with autism and ADHD, and then after the stories, I'll share some tools and strategies that I use myself and with my coaching clients. There are some free resources that you can access by scanning the QR code that I've put on every slide. So it's the same QR code throughout, because I hate it when you're scrabbling around trying to take photos of things. So I've put it on every page. That will take you to a page of my website where you can access some of the free downloads and resource links. So, story 1, the fight. In the red corner, the undefeated champion, standing tall, supremely confident, ready to get out there again and knock them down. And in the blue corner, the challenger, shoulders stooped, looking anxious, a little out of place. It doesn't sound like it's going to be a fair fight, does it? Would you pay to watch this entertainment? But I'm not talking about a boxing match. I'd like to introduce you to the inside of my mind. I'm autistic and ADHD, or DHD, 2 conditions with many overlapping traits, but also complete opposites in so many ways. Both come with stigma, stereotypes, misunderstanding. By sharing my experience, what it's like to be me, I'm hoping you'll understand ADHD a little more. And this is only my experience, because we're all different. So I can't speak for all autistics, all ADHDers, in the same way that you shouldn't assume that because you've met one neurodivergent person, you know what we're all like. Let me tell you a little more about these. Autism is associated with the left side of the brain, the analytical side, rational, logical, controlling, often depicted as the black and white side of the brain. Things have to be fair. Rules have to be followed. Change is a scary thing. I have to be in control. Recently at a networking event, someone introduced me as, "This is Lisa, she's very talented." Sounds good. When I inquired what he meant by talented, he said that I'm creative and knowledgeable, but don't show any emotion. And this is a common misconception that autistic people have no empathy. But you couldn't be further from the truth. There are different types of empathy. Emotional empathy, feeling your emotions, taking them on as if they were my own, wanting to make things better for you. I have buckets full of this empathy. Cognitive empathy, recognizing and understanding what you're experiencing. That's a different thing entirely. Autistics can struggle to accurately recognize emotions. Eye contact can be difficult, so we're likely to look at the periphery of your face, not the eyes and mouth, and that's where emotions show up. So while I feel all the emotions very deeply, rational, pragmatic me wants to fix the problem. And what comes out of my mouth in the moment might sound blunt and uncaring. And what about if ADHD brain gets involved too? I've thought of 75 different ways I can help you, and it's all bursting to get out. I need to do something right now. I'll give you a big hug. Oh, I've still got the boxing gloves on. That was a right hook. I've got it wrong again. The fight goes on. What about my own facial expressions? Autistic brain is working overtime, analysing everything that's going on around me, trying to document the unwritten rules and create clarity from confusion. So it's far too busy to worry about what my face is doing. My facial expressions don't always align with societal expectations of the emotion I'm feeling. In a previous role, my boss told me that I looked condescending in meetings with them, because that's how they interpreted my facial expressions. I was absolutely flawed. That wasn't how I was feeling at all. I'm a visual thinker and process information by looking up to my left, or appearing to look over your shoulder if we're in conversation. And I now realise that I furrow my brows and narrow my lips when I'm concentrating, which I guess came across as condescending. Lockdown happened and we all moved to Zoom working, so I could see myself on screen the whole time. I could see the faces I was pulling. I was so conscious of it that I started to hold a facial expression of a slight smile, my attempt at looking interested and engaged. I held this unnatural expression for meeting after meeting, week after week, month after month, so long that I caused a twitch above my eye. I caused myself physical harm trying to hold my face in a way that wouldn't cause offence to others. The fight goes on. In her book, Autism in Heels, Jennifer O'Toole, who you might recognise as the dating advisor on Love on the Spectrum, says, "What's it like to be us? Too much. What do you do when the trouble isn't one thing that you do, it's everything that you are? So much of the internal experience of autism is invisible to outsiders. No one else can see the struggle." I'm wearing a sunflower lanyard. Do you know what this means? Maybe type yes or no in the chats. I've been asked if I'm a member of the Green Party or if it's something I made myself. This is the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Lanyard. The Sunflower Scheme was set up at London Gatwick Airport in 2016 and has grown since then to be a globally recognised symbol of a less visible disability. The sunflower design was chosen deliberately because it's bright and colourful, so should be easy to spot. It's designed so people can let you know that they might be experiencing the world differently from you, might need some support, without needing to shout it from the rooftops. Because the times we most need support are often the times we're least able to ask for it. So I am shouting it from the rooftops because I want to make sure everyone recognises and understands the sunflower lanyard. Or it could be a bracelet, a keyring, a badge. Please look out for hidden disability sunflowers. You might be surprised how many you spot when you're looking. Back to Jennifer. I pull the rug right out from under myself when everybody is looking. Just trust that I didn't mean to make anyone fall. My version of normal does not look the same as most people's. This really resonates with me. My deepest belief has always been that I'm not good enough. My black and white view of the world has defined the way I ought to be. I've spent my life trying to fit in, trying to be normal, act the right way, say the right things. I'm too much. I overcompensate. I'm too intense in relationships, both work and personal. I need to feel needed. I do too much. And this results in people pushing me away through caring too much. The fight goes on. ADHD is associated with the right side of the brain, the creative side, often depicted in a rainbow of colours. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Another misnomer. It's not a deficit of attention. It's a deficit in the ability to regulate my attention. Something has all my attention. I was a due diligence director, attention to detail an absolute must. So much attention, I forget to drink water, eat, or even blink. Or my attention is all over the place. Now, what was I saying? The fight goes on. And when you say hyperactive, people think of small boys unable to sit still in the classroom. But I barely move. I'm like a sloth. It's my mind that's hyperactive. I'm endlessly curious, a love of learning. Autism, because I have to know exactly how everything works to feel in control. ADHD, because each new thing becomes a hyper-focus, a fascinating new idea to explore, new possibilities, and I want to try them all right now. Well, maybe not right now, because autistic brain needs to know exactly how they'd work and carry out a full risk assessment before I start. The fight goes on. People-pleasing can be a big thing for ADHDers too. We love to feel needed. If someone asks for our help, that gives us a dopamine rush and we're quick to say yes. Time perception and prioritization can be more of an issue. Is this the top priority for me to be working on right now? They asked for my help, so it must be important to them, which makes it important to me, which makes it my top priority. What about the other priorities I was working on? They've just faded into the background as my attention has been grabbed by this new endeavour. And it's okay because it will only take a few minutes to complete this new task. The sense of urgency created by the request spills over to my perception of how long I'll need to action it. I'm so busy putting my underpants on the outside to play the superhero that I forget to consider my actual capabilities and capacity. I'll find time to help anyone who asks for my help, leading to an ever-growing to-do list and sense of overwhelm. I work harder and harder, longer and longer, trying to deliver all of the things to all of the people, because rejection sensitivity means I'm terrified of letting anyone down and them thinking badly of me. Inevitably, something has to give, and it's usually my well-being. Burnout hits like an uppercut. I don't see it coming and suddenly find myself flat on my back in the ring. I'm out for the count. The fight goes on. I used to think that everyone's brain worked the same way as mine does, that everyone experiences the world the same way I do, because there's no benchmark. I wear glasses. You might have noticed. But how did I know I needed them? I learned to drive at 17, and part of the test was to read a number plate at a certain distance. While I could read it, it was a little blurred, so I went for an eye test and found that I needed glasses. the optician's chart was the benchmark. We don't have that benchmark for what goes on inside our minds. So I used to think that everyone's brain worked the same way as mine does, but now I know that's not true. I was only diagnosed with ADHD and autism in my 40s, and after the grief cycle that so many of us go through, I'm now learning to live with my neurodivergence, learning to manage the challenges and appreciate the strengths. Albert Einstein allegedly said, "Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid." What's the genius within that I can call on? I'm ADHD and autistic. I'm creative and methodical. I'm fiercely loyal and resilient. I'm great in a crisis, a problem solver and pragmatic. I have awesome attention to detail and endless curiosity. Harvey Bloom, an American journalist and advocate, says, "Neurodiversity may be every bit as crucial for the human race as biodiversity is for life in general. Who can say what form of wiring will be best at any given moment?" I love this quote. I've decided to call time on the fight. Take off those boxing gloves and appreciate my autistic ADHD brain for what it is. Let the two sides learn to work together. Take the rainbow and straighten it, just a little. Take the black and white and create shades of grey. I've decided